I'm your host, Heather Dawson, and welcome to the May episode of Healthy RC Living. This year's Directing Change short film focuses on anxiety and the pressures of school and friends on kids. The city helped enter the category through the lens of culture. Let's take a look.
Good evening. You've reached the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. How can we help you today?
I think my friend's going to kill himself.
Okay, ma'am. Let me just ask you a few questions. We're here to help.
It's a subject matter that most would rather avoid, but the emergence of suicide and mental health issues among teens has been a growing topic in our societal landscape. To confront this issue head-on, a conglomeration of agencies spearheaded by the California Mental Health Services Authority recently held a special awards ceremony here in Rancho to acknowledge teens from around the empire for their work in a special film competition known as Directing the Change.
You know, working in suicide prevention and mental health, it's so nice to have a fun, exciting way to approach these subjects and to have the youth voice. You know, youth, a lot of times I think it's dismissed that youth don't have a passion for these subjects because for so long we haven't talked about these subjects. But given the opportunity, these youth have just constantly amazed us with their films. We started doing this 3 years ago, and we were hoping to get 100 films maybe, and we ended up getting 450 films the first year. And just the quality of the product and the content and the stories that these youth share has just been amazing.
The city of Rancho Cucamonga not only played a role by hosting this special event at the Victoria Gardens Cultural Center, but Rancho was also represented by a team of youth from Healthy RC who were also part of this competition and came away with an award-winning video.
Every time the teacher assigns something, I can never be able to remember the instructions, and I have to ask the teacher multiple times before I can jot it down in my head. I feel like everything is a distraction and that I cannot focus in class. Since I can't focus in class, I don't understand the lessons that she's teaching me.
Everyone experiences anxiety from time to time, and anxiety can often be described as a feeling of uneasiness, nervousness, worry, fear, or dread of a certain event. Anxiety can be misinterpreted as fear, however, anxiety is a sense of danger or trouble. The intensity of anxiety varies for each person. As for me, I have mild anxiety triggered by being overwhelmed in school and in my personal life. My panic attacks feel like I have anchors tied to my feet, and I've been thrown into the ocean and I'm expected to swim. Finding and seeking help isn't only good for your mental health, but also good for your personal health.
That's incredible. When we made the film, we just wanted, people to at least see it. We didn't even think that we'd be honored. And the fact that we won first in the county, that's just incredible to us, and we're so thankful. And I mean, this event looks so great, and we're just so blessed. And we're glad that we're, at the end of the day, we're all here for the same reason and to, help change.
I think it's really great. Like I said, I wasn't here for that long, and it's a great experience to be able to do all these things and to let people know that they're not alone and there's many people around them that do know how it feels and that there is people around them to help them.
The overwhelming success of this film project not only provides an outlet for artistic expression, but it also gives our youth the opportunity to creatively confront an issue that is vital to the health and well-being of our teens in the Inland Empire.
So through this contest, the youth are exposed to safe messaging on suicide prevention and how to appropriately message on mental health and end the silence of mental illness. And so through that, they're able to tackle these topics, as you talked about, in an engaging way that's comfortable to them. But it really gives them an opportunity to share their thoughts and their voice on how these issues affect them, because most mental illnesses show up by age 14 or age 24. So these are issues that are affecting youth, and up until recently we've been a little hesitant to bridge that gap and have these conversations with them. And this time it's them having the conversation with us, which has just been beautiful.
You can do more than just kind of watch it, let it happen. You could actually go and find out opportunities, go and seek a counselor, go and seek a parent, an adult, whether it be your teachers or someone close to you, and just getting that kind of support system around you and know that it's okay and that acceptance is one thing, but also actively helping your friend and your companion is something that you can definitely do and that everyone has the ability to do.
From the Victoria Gardens Cultural Center, this is J.R. Ibarra for Healthy RC.
Students at Etiwanda High School have a new compost program that includes a farm-to-table relationship with the school cafeteria. Let's see what they've learned throughout the process.
We're starting a new composting program here at Etiwanda High School. We're planning on reducing our school's waste and trying to get some free fertilizer for our new gardens.
So basically at our school, what we're doing is we're putting bins around campus. And whenever you're finished eating and you have leftover food that you normally throw away and get put in our landfills, you're going to put it into our bins instead, and which will be put into our life feeders, which will turn into fertilizer for our garden.
Some of the benefits of composting are creating a positive impact on our school and local environment. Disposing of our food waste into the composting bins will further help make our environment a better place.
With this project, we can reduce our school's waste, our school's ecosystem footprint, and the amount of land waste and water.
Some do's of composting would be using things such as banana peels, apple cores, fruit stems. You can also use eggshells, bread, pastas, and all veggies.
Some things that you don't want to put into the composting bins are citruses such as limes, oranges, and tangerines, no meat or bones, and no dairy products at all.
Horses and their riders showed off recently at the Inland Empire's Rising Stars Horse Show. Called an Evening of the Horse, equestrians of all ages showed off the beauty and majesty of their four-legged friends, while reminding guests of the area's long history as an equestrian community. The evening also dedicated itself to bringing awareness to the show's location, Heritage Park, as a way to remind and inform guests and area residents of Rancho Cucamonga's unique horse-friendly lifestyle.
This still is an equestrian community. A lot of new people have moved into this area and didn't come with horses. All right, the original occupants, just about everybody had a horse in this place. Okay, and this particular establishment here was finished in 1979. So it's been functioning since then, and it is an open equestrian center for anyone who would like to come. There's no charge or anything like that, but most of the people in Rancho don't even realize that this facility exists.
While horses like Sedona are today's main attraction, the service they provide their riders is what truly makes them special.
For riders like upcoming college freshman Michael Moisant, who was born with cerebral palsy, learning how to ride the horses provided by Rising Stars is good for his body. The horse's movements relax and strengthen his muscles and joints, giving him better posture and coordination, while teaching Michael about himself and building his self-esteem.
You can do whatever you want. Don't let anyone else tell you you can't do anything. You can. Just believe in yourself.
What they've done is amazing because he didn't have hardly any use of his legs at all. And then my wife heard about the program, got him in there, and they did a test ride with him and decided, well, give him a try on it. And he's been doing it ever since.
This park was built with an equestrian center through public funds in order to allow people to bring their horses, to train with their horses, to put on shows. And there's an organization by the name of Adeloma Riding Club that truly does partner with Rising Stars, and the city, of course, is a big partner in this also. And so we're just very blessed that we have not only the facilities, but we have people like the folks that are in charge of Rising Stars that give of their own time, give of their own treasures to make lives better for those that need it the most.
Pat Morris founded Rising Stars about 45 years ago and has helped thousands of people with special needs through horse therapy. She hopes that through public donations and other funding sources, she and the group will be able to continue servicing many others in the future.
Some started many years ago and they're still with me.
And some have been in wheelchairs that are now walking and doing different things. They have definitely benefited through the years. And this is what we want to show the people around here so that they know that there is something out there to help these people.
At Heritage Park in Altaloma, I'm Tiffany Carter for Healthy RC.
The city of Rancho Cucamonga has begun recognizing businesses that have adopted a smoke-free environment, and the 4 Points by Sheraton is among the first to be honored. Located just west of Victoria Gardens along Foothill Boulevard, the 4 Points by Sheraton is a 118-room hotel that features a number of amenities, including beautiful rooms, a restaurant and lounge area, banquet facilities, a well-appointed gym, and a swimming pool. Opened in June of 2009, the 4 Points by Sheraton caters to leisure and business travelers and has been smoke-free from day one.
So when we opened, that was our strategy to make sure that we could satisfy our guests with non-smoking requests. Since doing that, we've had a lot of success.
And that success has come in part from the positive feedback from their guests about the smoke-free policy.
We find that people are very happy with it. They like to walk into a room with a fresh smell, with no damages in the carpet or on the linens or on the bedding, and it makes them feel at home.
Even a lot of our groups that come down here from different areas, different countries, even some of them that are smokers, truly appreciate it.
And while the vast majority of 4 Points by Sheraton guests comply with the non-smoking guidelines, those who do violate the policy face stiff penalties.
Every now and then we do have a guest that may decide to smoke or may be unaware or just do it intentionally. That guest is met very quickly with the $200 fine and in some cases asked to leave the property immediately.
As a result of their no smoking policy, the 4 Points by Sheraton has become the first local business to be acknowledged under the city's new smoke-free recognition program.
Receiving the acknowledgement for being a non-smoking business in the area means a lot to us. It falls in line with the other things that we do here. We also are a very green hotel. The 4 Points by Sheraton has a full and extensive sustainability program. So also being a non-smoking hotel helps us maintain that we're doing the best, not only for our environment, but also for the health of people in our community and for our associates that work here.
I'm hoping more of the hotels and the restaurants and areas here do jump in with us. I think it's important as a community to come together.
And more businesses are joining the city's smoke-free recognition program. In return, they get acknowledgement from the City Council, will be spotlighted in a future city publication, and are included in an online registry of local smoke-free businesses. For more information on the smoke-free recognition program, go to the Healthy RC page on the city's website or stop by City Hall. From the 4 Points by Sheraton, I'm David Wiley for Healthy RC Living. This beautiful Pacific Electric Trail here in Rancho Cucamonga has become a destination for bike riders, joggers, and those walking for exercise. Now the city of Rancho Cucamonga is focusing on pedestrian safety throughout the city. Just the slightest distraction on the road can lead to a tragedy that can result in serious injury or even death. Nationwide statistics show that more than 4,000 pedestrians and 600 bicyclists are killed every year, and many times these accidents are preventable.
There's a lot of things going on in the new cars now. There's navigation systems in the car, and there's a lot of buttons, more than there ever used to be. So I think that's a distraction. Also, everybody now is carrying a phone, and most everybody's carrying a smartphone. And so there's a lot of apps and programs, and people are doing things on those while they're driving and while they're walking. And so you combine that, you've got a pedestrian and a driver that are both distracted with the device. That's where some of the problems come in.
Rancho Cucamonga has been the site of several crashes in recent months, including a hit and run along Wilson Avenue that killed a man on a bicycle, and this crash where an inattentive bicyclist suffered a broken arm. Whether it's a drunk driver, a distracted motorist, or a pedestrian or bicyclist who's not paying attention, the consequences can be permanent and oftentimes deadly. With that in mind, city officials and the police department have joined together for a new safety awareness campaign called Look, Look, Look.
We saw a lot of traffic accidents related to bicycles and pedestrians, and we had more fatalities last year than we think is acceptable. So what we wanted to try and do is reach out to all walks of the community because it's affecting everybody, children, adults, drivers, bicyclists, pedestrians, and teach them about being aware.
Crews have been out and about putting up the look, look, look signs along city streets and pathways, and at the start of the school year, local school kids will be taught the importance of staying alert. Captain Newcomb says it's important that all of us learn to share the road.
We have to share the road with pedestrians and bicyclists, and we're trying to reach out and teach people how to do that. The Look, Look, Look campaign encompasses all of those people, bicyclists, pedestrians, and drivers, asking them to pay attention and share the road.
With the launch of the Look, Look, Look campaign, local officials hope to make Rancho Cucamonga streets safer for everyone.
We've started with some signage and a brand campaign that we hope will reach out to the community and become a common word, and people in the city will know, oh, look, 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 yeah, that means heads up, pay attention, and our hope through this campaign is to save lives.
So make our community safer. When out and about, whether walking, riding, or driving, remember to look, look, look. From the Pacific Electric Trail, I'm David Wiley for Healthy RC Living. These second graders from a local brownie troop here in Rancho Cucamonga are doing their part to help feed some disadvantaged kids in our community. The numbers are staggering. It's estimated that 1 in 5 children in this region live in poverty, and more than half the kids in our local schools are enrolled in free or reduced cost meal programs. And while these kids are getting fed during school hours, finding food when they get home can prove to be a challenge. That's why the Inland Empire United Way, with the help of volunteers like these brownies, has come up with the Kids Pack program, which provides weekend food packages for children from low-income families.
Kids Pack is, in its most basic form, it's our way of feeding hungry and homeless kids over the weekend. So this food is going to kids who are living out of their cars or motels or are, double, tripled up in homes. And it's kids who essentially have no other food. We're sending these home in bags so that the kids can get it at school in their backpack. And they go home on the weekend and they eat up all their food. And then they bring the backpacks back on Monday, and we do the whole thing all throughout the school year.
And the need in the Inland Empire is tremendous, with more than 1,000 kids in 6 school districts taking home the Kids Packs every weekend. Nearly half of those are from one school district alone.
We have the most bags going to Ontario Montclair School District, and their cap is 500 bags. They can allot those however they need to in any of the schools that they think the kids need them most.
With volunteers moving through a coordinated assembly line, each bag is filled with nutritious snacks like noodles, granola bars, applesauce, pudding, pretzels, and more. And that's where volunteers like the brownies come in.
We're packing bags for children who can't afford food like other people. We're giving out food and water for people who need supplies. We're taking bags and filling them up with food for people who can't buy food for themselves. We're helping people that don't have food, and we're packing them up so then for snacks they have food.
With more than 1,000 Kids Packs needed every week, these volunteers are crucial in assembling all the goodies for each bag.
They're packing the food into the bags to make it easier. So we're not just sending buckets of food. The teachers can just grab a bag of food and put it in the backpacks.
So while these volunteers are small in stature, their contributions are huge in impacting the needy children in our communities.
It makes me feel great because I would like to really help out some kids that need it.
And while on this day, the brownies managed to fill 350 Kids Packs, volunteers are always in need at the Inland Empire United Way.
We're always looking for volunteers. We have some other great programs that we always need volunteers for.
To learn how you, your company, or organization can help the Inland Empire United Way, you can call them at 909-980-2857. And like these young girls, you'll find that helping others is truly a rewarding experience.
We love helping kids!
From the Inland Empire United Way, I'm David Wiley for Healthy RC Living. We're outside Gandolfo's New York Delicatessen in Rancho Cucamonga. And inside you're going to find some fantastic food and a great story about persistence and faith. New York is famous for its delis, but that's something most of us on the West Coast have never had a chance to experience. But Gandolfo's is changing that for foodies in the Inland Empire. few years back, Sean and Danielle Whaley tasted the New York-style sandwiches while on a trip to Colorado. They were instantly hooked and decided to open their own franchise in 2007 here in Rancho Cucamonga. Gandolfo's has a huge menu featuring 72 sandwiches, from the Brooklyn Bridge turkey to the Central Park pastrami, all prepared just like the ones you'd find in a New York deli.
If you go to New York, you're going to get a sandwich with just tons of meat, tons of flavor, and just a great quality. So I think that's what makes Gandolfo's a step above. Just the size of our sandwiches, the different kind of varieties. We actually went to New York before we opened our Gandolfo's, and just to kind of get an idea if it was even comparable, and we think it is.
We make everything from scratch every day, so it's very labor intensive. We slice our own meats, we cook our own pasta, we cook the potatoes for the potato salad. So the quality, nobody can compare.
And along with the piled high specialty sandwiches, tasty salads, and bagels, the atmosphere inside Gandolfo's is relaxed, with a friendly staff and New York-related memorabilia adorning the walls. And Gandolfo's offers catering, so if you want to bring the New York deli experience to your office or event, you can. These days, business is booming, and the Rancho Cucamonga Gandolfo's is about to celebrate its 5th anniversary. But the journey hasn't been easy for the Whaleys. While the deli had some initial success when it first opened, the economic downturn hit the restaurant really hard. And within 2 years, the Whaleys were deep in debt and on the verge of bankruptcy.
We got to a point where when I came home one day and told Danielle, I don't know, we're out of money. We don't have any more lines of credit. We don't have anything else we could do. I think we're going to need to go bankrupt. Danielle said, I'm not feeling that that's what we need to do.
Miraculously, the store's business gradually improved, and it's now the best performing store in the chain.
It's just amazing that we're still here.
It was a tough time, and I think we learned some great lessons about being persistent, both in our business life and our spiritual lives.
The Rancho Cucamonga Gandolfo's is located at 9090 Milliken Avenue, and plans are being made for another Inland Empire location in the future. So if you're looking for an authentic New York deli experience, a great atmosphere, recommend Gandolfo's here in Rancho Cucamonga. For Healthy RC Living, I'm David Wiley.
It's an inevitable scenario for California, a major quake with devastating results. And all experts agree we need to be prepared, especially here in Rancho Cucamonga.
Our community, through Brianna Medina, our emergency manager, has always been real good about setting up various activities for the city to ensure our preparedness for that kind of an event.
The city showed its role in being prepared by participation in the Great California Shakeout, which was a statewide drill that simulated the response to a major earthquake hitting the state.
We pick a theme or a topic or a specific aspect of our plan that we want to test and make sure is good and make adjustments where needed. This year, what we're going to do is we're going to test out our internal evacuation planning of mainly all of our city facilities. So our employees who have been instructed and been given some training up to now get to test that and see how those plans are going to work. We have a system involving people who have been identified as accountability officers. They have specific jobs to do after an earthquake occurs, namely to account for the people in their area of where they work.
While this drill was carried out in an office setting, the shakeout was also meant to be a reminder to homeowners that being self-sufficient after a major quake will be a necessity.
Well, the message we're trying to get out to the community, both residents and businesses, it's real basic. Get a kit. You know, you should have a minimum of 3 days and maybe up to 2 weeks worth of supplies for each person in your household. Have a plan. Have a plan that would include how to notify each other, how to communicate with each other if you're not all together. You know, a lot of folks will have a plan to call family members out of state so they can kind of use that as a rallying point, so to speak. So a plan of some kind that would, number one, account for everybody. That's the main thing. Have a plan for, you know, what you would do if your house was not livable, those types of things.
After all, we're accounted for in this drill. Officials were pleased with its success.
Everything is secure now and safe. That's good. I'm glad we're all safe in Rancho Cucamonga. It's a good thing that we did the quake preparedness and everybody's out of the building. It's a good thing.
While the shakeout has become an annual happening for Californians, it is inevitable that one day we will all be faced with the reality of a sizable earthquake, and this drill may turn out to be a tool in helping many citizens survive. For Healthy RC, this is J.R. Ibarra.
Nestled in the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains, Rancho Cucamonga is comprised of 3 areas: Altaloma, Etiwanda, and Cucamonga. The city boasts the oldest winery in California, the oldest living artist with his work in the Smithsonian, plus one of the oldest and largest earthquake faults, which ultimately led to the popular professional baseball team's name, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Okay, so where did the name Cucamonga come from? Well, the name dates back to 1200 AD, when the Cucamonga Native Americans established a village near Red Hill. By 1833, a Mexican soldier, Tiburcio Tapia, was granted the land of Cucamonga and began a successful winery, portions of which stand today as the Thomas Winery, the oldest known winery in California. The area was later sold to John Raines, then changed hands again in 1870, when San Francisco businessmen formed the Cucamonga Company. President Abraham Lincoln sanctioned a Cucamonga post office in 1864, the first in the western portion of San Bernardino County. In 1913, when the Pacific Electric Railway came through, the upper foothills of the city known as Altaloma combined with Cucamonga. The city's eastern community of Etiwanda was planned by William Chafee. The Chaffees helped bring power to the area, and in 1881, the first long-distance call in Southern California was completed between San Bernardino and Etiwanda. Today, Rancho Cucamonga is one of the fastest-growing areas in the Southland, yet remains one of the safest cities in the country.
I still do it, that get on down.
The city, incorporated in 1977, stretches over 39 square miles. Population, 147,000 people. Average income, $80,000. Rancho Cucamonga has recently transformed from a bedroom community to a destination spot, thanks to a new state-of-the-art cultural center, Victoria Gardens Shopping Center, and a plan to revitalize the local winery. No wonder more than 100,000 people are happy to fulfill Jack Benny's famous line, making the last stop Rancho Cucamonga. That wraps up the May episode of Healthy RC Living. If you tuned in late, don't worry. You can catch Healthy RC Living all month long, airing daily 3 times a day at 8 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, and 7 in the evening, right here on Channel 3, except Wednesdays. Or watch all our episodes online and check out our blog at healthyrc.com. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time. Hi, I'm Heather Dawson. Our show, Healthy RC Living, highlights just a few of the wonderful activities that enhance the mind, body, and earth. We take you to events around the city that'll enrich your mind. Live performances, library computer classes, and story hours are just a few of the ways the city helps people of any age learn and expand their abilities and imaginations. We also show you all the ways our city can help keep your body healthy. There's no better city for outdoor exercise, and we'll make sure you know all the fitness opportunities available in Rancho Cucamonga with our on-location reports. You'll also see how our city is doing its part to protect the earth now and for our future generations. Join us as we explore all of the ways Rancho Cucamonga is making it easy to enjoy healthy living.